Hello, this is going to be a tutorial and follow-up video to First Things First. And there was some interest from some of you that I break it down in a little bit more detail. You may have seen that I did a piano cover of this song a few months ago, but you can also check that out if you haven't seen it yet. And I'm going to go piece by piece through the song, try to break it down for you, what I'm doing in both hands, and it should give you everything that you need. But if you have any questions or comments or requests for the future, then just please let me know and I'll get back to you. Okay, so we're going to start it right at the beginning of my piano cover video. And I'm just starting with C octaves in the left hand, and then our E and G octaves in the right hand. So just like this. After that, we're going to move up to E5 in our left hand, and the pattern with our right hand octaves is so together. Then on the next one, the left hand drops out and we just do F's and A's in our right hand. And then after that, we have our G5 chord in the left hand, and then our right hand is still doing octaves. We hit the chord first, just like that. And then one more note that I forgot. So we're going to hit that chord. Okay. G, C, G, B, G. And then going on. And then the next time around, the right hand is still doing the same octaves, but we're going to move down the octave. So now we have, just like before, but an octave lower. And then we go to our E5 chord in the left hand again, and same octave pattern in the right hand. And then moving on. Same as before. That was for our F chord. So F5, and so F5, that's just an F and a C. The E5 is just an E and a B. And then, like I said, we're sticking to C octaves for the C chords. Going on, we got same G5 in the left hand and same pattern in the right hand. This is all the same. Now this time it moves to an A minor. So we got A5 in the left hand, that's an A and an E. The right hand is doing A's and C's with it, so it's... Then when we add our left hand, that's like that. Yeah, for this last F, it's a little bit unique. For that F chord, we still have the same F5, but now we're going to do F, A up here, so we moved up an octave. And then we're going to hit, you can't see my pinky, but I'm just hitting F octaves up high, so. Just like that. First things first, I seek your will, not my own. Surrender all my wants to you. Keep the first thing first. Okay, so now we're getting into sort of our normal chord progression. Now these chords in the beginning, I'm gonna start with the C octaves to fill it up, but then I'm just gonna do individual bass notes after that because our left hand is so low. So we got our C chord, and then E minor, and then A minor, and F. And then it's kind of optional. Sometimes I will add the G, which is like an add two, and it just fills it up a little bit more. Same thing, same pattern again. And then you'll notice sometimes that I do the C chord down here as well, right when the song pauses right there. So we did C, E minor, A minor, F, and then when it pauses here, I'm going to do a lower C chord built on the E instead of the G. But not a huge difference. Again, some of this can be personal preference, but I usually try to mimic what I'm hearing on the recording as much as possible. Here we go. Here's the hold I just showed you. Okay, and then the chord progression changes just a little bit. And this part of the song, I'm starting, so this would be the next verse. I'm starting on that lower C chord. I'm doing C to our E minor, and then to F, and then I think this time I just did a single G because again, our hands are getting too close. Now I'm doing G sus to G major with a little pause. Same thing. E minor. This time it goes to A minor and then back to F. And that time I did a little F2 there at the end, so it just gives it a little bit of a suspended hold there. Okay, and then in the chorus, it's still starting the same chord progression. Sometimes I'm going to add that 9 in there. I'm just going to move my pinky from the C to the D, and then it gives it just a little bit more, it just gives it an extension to the chord. Okay, and to the E minor after that. A minor again. F again. We're just repeating. A minor, F. Okay, and then here's where we got something new. The piano player in the recording isn't always doing it exactly the same way. So if you're listening closely, you might even notice that we clash sometimes, but that's just part of the process of as you learn the song and sort of make it your own. I recommend just learning it the way I'm showing you to keep it simple. And then if you want to change it up later, you can. But one more time, I'm going to show you each of those chords, starting with the C. I also need to point out there's a little bit of syncopation in there, meaning it's not exactly on the beat. So you may see in the recording, I'm kind of keeping a quarter note pulse going, and that also helps me stay in sync with the rest of the band. 2, 3, 4. So you could try something like that. So here it is with the syncopation, and you'll see how this kind of brings it all together. Because the right hand is going to start that sort of recurring riff just slightly ahead of our beat 1 in the left hand. So let me show you how I play that. 1, 2, ready, go. So I guess it's just kind of an extended chorus with a little piano interlude, vamp, whatever you want to call that. And then it goes right back into the chorus. So for this, you could really just keep doing the same thing, but it does get a little bit fancier on the recording, and like I may have already said, what I'm doing is clashing sometimes just because it's not the same thing all the time, but I'm pretty much just adding more rhythms to the same thing that I was doing, so. And then I guess maybe I'm adding that extra octave, so I'm playing G's on both sides of my hand, and that just fills it up a little bit more, and it gives me a little bit more to play with rhythmically. But it's really just the same thing, so you can just come up with your own way to do it and fill it up a little bit more. And again, I'm clashing sometimes with what the original recording is doing because he's not playing it the same way all the time. But here's just a little isolated example of what I'm doing. And you'll also notice my left hand octaves, I'm just playing around the rhythms a little bit more to fill it up. And same with my right hand, I'm adding that octave in the G's to fill it up more. So here we go. So that's the idea of that section. So for this section, it's really just the same thing, same pattern, but the rhythms change a little bit. So here's an idea of how I'm playing it and just filling it up more. And then for our ending, same idea, it's just now we're not playing so busy. So I guess the only new thing I added was I was maybe adding some of the fifths in the bass notes or bass chords. But that's it. The pattern is pretty much staying the same in the right hand through that whole second half of the song. So I hope this was helpful for you. And like I said, if you have any questions or comments, or you need some more assistance in this song, or just learning the piano in general, let me know and I will get back to you. All my desires reversed to keep